A copy. Um, I guess we may as well just start with you right now. Did you have some questions or charts you want to go through or something?
Um, I'm not very prepared today, so I just wanted to check what's going on.
Okay. So yeah, the idea was just to create these and have people ask questions so we can go through everything. I think starting next week, I'm gonna be moving these to Wednesday so we can do a midweek outlook of what the market's already done and what we think the market's gonna do on Thursday and Friday. And I think people get more benefits from that. I know today the market really didn't do a whole lot, did it?
No, I noticed. Yeah, it was quite slow today.
Yeah. So, I just took the one trade here, which I posted in the group, but I ended up taking this up here on the seconds. You can even get it in on the 1 minute. But aside from this, I didn't do anything today. I shorted that. I actually closed it all out somewhere around here when I seen it didn't want to go any lower. But it's a pretty decent trade for being a bank holiday.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
I
I
had
think
a trade on the Australian dollar and US dollar.
Oh yeah. Do
Buy.
you want to share your screen? Show me. Go through it.
Let me check.
Seems how you're the only guy here, we may as
Yeah,
well.
then we profit.
Yeah, like 10 people signed up, but people must be busy or whatever. That's cool. Let's see.
Okay.
You should be allowed to share now. Let me
Let
know if
me
it doesn't
check.
let you. Hold on, maybe I gotta stop sharing mine. Try that.
Okay,
Hey,
now should work.
yeah, there you go. I can see you.
Okay, maybe.
How many pairs do you trade?
Usually this is one of my favorite, so
Yeah.
I'm just doing paper trading for now.
Oh, okay. I actually haven't touched the Australian dollar. I've never really even tried it. I've had really good luck with Euro and GU, so I just kind of stick to those two. I
Yeah,
was
I think at
trading.
the end it's just a matter of feeling with the pair because
Yeah, exactly. I was trading gold for a while, and then I went back and just looked at my numbers of what I was doing on gold compared to GU and Euro. And I figured out that I was making more money on Euro and GU, so I kind of put gold on pause for now, and that's basically the two pairs I've been looking at for the time being.
so this I entered here on a buy because I expected a retracement. Let me show you. Maybe.
Do you find that the red candles affect your psychology at all? Like when do you find the red color itself bothers you or not so much?
Not really, no.
No, yeah. See, like I had to get rid of my red candles. I found the red kind of triggered me.
Let me see where it was before.
Where are you from?
I'm from Switzerland.
Switzerland. Okay, cool, man.
Yes.
Oh yeah, so you did have a quite a clean entry there.
Yes, I put my entry here and the stop loss underneath this
Oh yeah.
week.
Yeah, and then you let's see. You also had another entry opportunity from this candle here. If you missed that one, that to me would have been a valid entry, but I think yours over here was a little bit better.
Yes, and I usually do one because I do it in between my jobs, so I try to figure out and enter. So
Oh, okay.
I'm a dentist usually, so and,
Oh, okay.
between one patient and the other, I'm trying to
Do
figure
you
out.
trade London at all or just mostly New York?
This was New York, actually.
Yeah, I
No.
know this is New York. I'm just asking if you ever trade London.
Yeah, it depends because in the morning I'm usually more busy, so it's difficult to.
Huh. So you're a dentist, then you trade in between patients. That's pretty interesting, man.
Yeah, try to trade constantly and then reduce my time with the patients.
Oh yeah. No, that totally makes sense. So I think we had one more person join. I think
Okay.
people get really busy. I also think this is kind of not in everybody's time zone off, obviously, but we'll be posting the recordings online anyway. How's it going, bro? Can you hear us? Rakan, am I saying that right? Oh, yeah, he can hear us. Cool. Do you have any charts you want to go through or any questions? Seeing how you guys are the only two here, I'm pretty much all yours for the hour. If you guys want to go through anything or yeah, whatever. I'm pretty open to whatever you guys want to go through. But that's a good trade on Australian dollar. What's the spread on Aussie? Because like I think with my broker it's like 0.4, 0.5, 0.6. So same as GU for me.
Yeah, it's more or less this in average.
Yeah. Yeah, that's where Euro's nice. You get that 0.2, 0.1, 0.3.
I used to do also Euro, New Zealand dollar. It's quite easy.
Oh yeah. Yeah, any of the US majors seem to respect the system well. Like for a while there, I was trading GJ, and like GJ is actually a really nice pair to trade, but it's I found you're holding it a bit longer. Like sometimes you're taking 8 or 10 pip stops on GJ just because how wiki the pair is, and I found GU gave me a lot smaller stops. The downside to the US majors is usually if a lot of times when GU doesn't have a trade, EU won't have a trade either. It's like they all run off the
They
DXY.
correlate.
Yeah, and that's the downside. But I finally figured out that not every day is a trading day, and whatever, trade on the days that the market's good, and and when it's not, just kind of sit out. I actually, just before I hopped on the video with you guys, I made a video on breaker blocks. I'll be uploading later on because I know there's somebody asking about it, how to use them and whatnot.
Yeah, I actually didn't understand properly what it means, so I will watch the video.
Yeah, I made a pretty good video, like a 20-minute video. I showed examples of what they are, how to use them, how to enter trades on them. Essentially, they're the exact same. They're supply or demand. Here, we can even do a quick lesson on it here. Let's see. Can you see my screen now? No?
Let me
Try stop share and see if you can see my screen. Let's see. Hold on. I think I can even. There. Can you see my? Okay. Yeah. So I think I got some of my stuff still up. So essentially, a breaker block is it's a really clean push right through a zone. So this right here would be a demand zone that you push right through, but there was no interaction at all. You came right through. And because we had no interaction, there is a good chance that the market's going to return to this zone and that it's going to do one of two things. Option one, you're going to be able to take a trade off of it and it'll go down. Option two, what a breaker block does is it'll create inducement. The market will go down and then it'll come up to the actual POI, grab that inducement, and then go down. I've had pretty good luck taking trades off of them. The only way they work, though, is the push through needs to be clean, meaning the candle goes right through, there's no reaction. So if this came down here and we get some sort of a reaction and then it goes down, this breaker block's no longer valid and you would just pull this as a zone. So that's kind of the whole concept behind it.
Okay.
As far as taking trades off them, they're the exact same, and they're everywhere. They're on every time frame. I think every one of these I was able to find a trade on. Hold on. Where are we? 134, way down here. Oh, I'm way. There we are. So yeah, these are the same examples I used in the video, but when you guys go through it later, if you're bored or whatever, you'll see. And essentially, it's the exact same. You tap into a zone, you find a flip zone, and you enter a trade on it. And I think there was one example here where it did actually. So this one here is a prime example. We tapped into the breaker block and we more or less created inducement, and we tapped into the flip zone, and then it ended up going. I think on this one we lost one, we broke even one, and the third trade went on this one. But the concept is the exact same. You take a trade off of it, and more often than not, the trade will go. The rest of the time, it'll just stack liquidity or your inducement, and you'll just grab it and then go. But yeah, I find them quite handy. They're I only pull them off like 15-minute, half hour, 30 minutes. Hold on, I got someone's trying to get in the call. Oh well. Yeah, someone is definitely trying to get in. Cool, man. Thanks. Hey, Gus, how's it going, buddy? Can you hear us? But yeah, that's essentially the concept of the whole breaker block theory. I'll probably upload it right after we get off the Zoom call. I'll upload this video, and we'll upload the breaker block at the same time. Oh yeah, okay. I'm just looking at the Discord messages. But yeah, do you guys have anything you want to go through? Like, I know we got a pretty small group here. Like, I'm here for the hour regardless. That's kind of how I want to do these. For the guys that just joined, what I was saying is I'm going to move these over to Wednesday next week. And what I was thinking of doing is we could do a recap of what the market did Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. And then we could also do a rest of the week outlook of what we think it could do on Thursday or Friday. Obviously that's a little bit subjective because the market doesn't always do what we think it will, but I was thinking we could do like a higher time frame analysis of what we could see in the rest of the week sort of deal. So that was one of the reasons why I wanted to move it over to Wednesday instead of Thursday, so it's like a midweek recap for all of us. Yeah, a recap sounds good. Hey, Gus, are you in here? Do you have anything you want to go through?
Hey, I actually just got home. I forgot about the Zoom, so I'm turning on my computer right now. So
no, that's totally cool, man. I know today wasn't the best day. We really only had the one trade on Euro. Like, aside from this one trade on Euro, I really didn't do anything. I know GU, I think, gave you a trade or two, but I don't know. I really wasn't looking at doing a lot. I looked at it as I made money on a bank holiday. That's a good day.
Yeah, exactly. It's Thanksgiving today too, right? So
yeah.
Probably not gonna get much movement.
Well, the American Thanksgiving, ours in Canada is like a month ago.
Oh, really? That's funny.
Yeah, I don't know why they did that. I'm like, you guys think you would just, Canada States pick the same day? Yeah.
Yeah, it's all North America at the end of the day. So.
Yeah. Where are you from, man?
I'm from Florida, so I have Thanksgiving today.
Yeah. Oh yeah, well that's all right. Actually, I've actually coached a few people from Florida. Seems to be a popular place for Forex.
Yeah. I mean, down here, like the thing that we get is those multi-level marketers. I don't know if you've ever seen them. I forgot what they're called, but pretty much like they're just people trying to get you in, signing up people.
I actually
under the
get them.
illusion that you're actually going to trade Forex?
Yeah, well, I actually get them messaging me all the time, and they're like, "Hey, if your members come over to us, we'll give you this much, and you can be a gold star or whatever,
Yeah.
and they could trade on our broker and use our prop firm." And I'm just like, "Yeah, no, I'm good."
Oh, that's funny.
No, I tried the whole multi-level marketing thing like years and years ago, and it wasn't for me. Definitely not for me. Does anybody have anything they do want to go through? Because I'm pretty open to whatever. I was hoping, well, today's, like I said, today wasn't the greatest day, so there's really not a lot to talk about as far as today's PA. Was there anything content wise you guys are unsure of? Anything I could make more clear for you guys?
I have a quick question about the 5 minute. You said in the videos that you would kind of show us how to like potentially trade the 1 minute or the 5 minute.
Yeah,
I didn't really see anything on the 5 minute stuff.
All right, hold on. Let's see. I'm just gonna write this down. 5 and 15 entries. Yeah, I could totally make a video on that. That's it's actually easier and higher hit rate. I could totally do that. I actually some of the guys I coached, I pulled them off the 1 minute and literally just put them on the 5 and the 15, and like their R's went down, but their hit rate went up, so their psychology did a lot better. And yeah, sometimes it's better to do it that way.
Yeah, I did the opposite. I went down too many time frames, down to the seconds, and yeah, the psychology takes like a massive hit.
Oh yeah. That's why I didn't put seconds in the course. It'll do more damage than good for most people, and I can attest to this as I took a lot of hits when I first switched to seconds, and once you learn to respect it and figure it out, it's not that bad. It's the exact same. What I found was you stay on the seconds for a couple of minutes and get off of it. Don't stay on it because your eyes just start doing tricks on you.
Okay.
But my favorite thing about the seconds is I can pretty much like this right here. Let's see. So this trade right here, this was kind of our last sort of demand here, that wick. This little inside bar here was kind of the place to me that stood out. So I knew that even though the order's going in down here, the lower end of it will likely be where we get in. And that's what I like using the seconds for. Like a lot of times my orders are still on the 1 minute, but I'll often look at where in the 1 minute POI it is. Like if I'm going to react to something up here and this is like a 3 or 4 pip zone, I'll likely put my order up here or, you know, like right in the middle. And I found it good for that. But honestly, the majority of my trades, I'd still say come off the 1 minute. Like you could clearly see where it reacts on the 1 minute.
Yeah, I mean it's pretty much the buy to sell wicks, right? And then that's a range on the seconds.
Yeah, exactly. Well, it's always the same. It's where's the reaction point and what took it out. Like this one here again, you see it better on the seconds, but even on the 1 minute, if you pulled this as your demand and then you find your little reaction point kind of right here, if we just look at it, the little white inside bars what actually took it out. Now, if you didn't have the seconds and you just look at it on the 1 minute side of things, it's still the exact same, right? Where's the reaction point? Well, this little doji is, that's where it went up and down the most. What took out that reaction point? Well, these sell the buy wicks did. The concept's basically the same. But yeah, that's honestly the only trade I looked at. Honestly, when I got in here and it started doing this, I took partials here. I closed the rest out down here. I honestly wasn't looking at doing anymore. And at this point, when this one was broke even, I honestly didn't even care what it did. Obviously, a win's better, but when I seen this, I was like, yeah, I'm not taking any more trades today. It's not really moving.
From a higher time frame perspective, like we're expecting a higher low at this point for the 4 hour to pull back a little bit more, or
that
should
is
we not expect something like that and just kind of follow what it's doing?
Here, hold on. I have That's the wrong chart. Let's go to that one. So from a higher time frame perspective, so this little blue line up here, that's 4 hour EQ of the last impulse. Now we didn't quite tap it. I like it when we tap it, but we're close enough to it that it may not have to go higher. So that's from a 4 hour perspective. What I mean by that is, so if this was our last, hold on, I just got to move this Zoom stuff. Here we go. So if this was our last impulse down from a 4 hour perspective, in a perfect world, we want to see this 50% zone get hit. However, the 50% zone's kind of like a subjective zone. If it comes anywhere within it, you're relatively equal, right? So ideally, I like to see it tapped. If it doesn't, it came up high enough that it could run the low. And then you have the flip side of things, which is the daily. And so I lost my charts yesterday. My computer restarted, so I had all this stuff marked. But on the daily side of things, our last impulse is here. So if it runs this 4 hour high and it starts going higher, we could see it come as far as this. And the reason being is we have our daily EQ here. And on the daily side of things, we could see it get tapped. Now, looking at it too, on the daily side of things, you have a lot of liquidity sitting here. So I could see the market doing something like this and then continued on down. On the really high time frame, and no, you don't need to look at the weekly, but I was just looking at this zone. I expected a really good reaction from this zone because we took this high here, and this zone caused that break. So to me, if any zone's going to react, this one should, and you could start building a narrative of what it could do. And that's where we could say, well, maybe it will go to the daily EQ. And that's ultimately how I look at the market. Anytime it runs a low, I want to see a retracement. Obviously, in the perfect world, we tap the 50%. Anybody that's been following GU or EU lately, it really hasn't retraced a whole lot, like at all. So I just kind of take it as I see it. Like this one did tap into almost 50% EQ on GU here. We did actually tap 50% on the nose, I believe. Let's see, 4 hour. Yeah, because our last impulse on GU was just this leg here. No, not that one. There we go. So our last impulse is kind of right there. So you could see that we did actually meet our EQ on this. But that's what I kind of look at. I look at it and I'm like, what could it do on the 4 hour side of things? Okay, cool. We met 4 hour EQ. What's it doing on the daily side of things? Well, on the daily side of things, our EQ is quite a bit higher. So where would I get the narrative from that it would come up here? Well, likely I would look at the 4 hour, and if this high here goes, I could start building a narrative of maybe it's going to come up to the daily and tap that EQ and wipe the rest of this little bit of liquidity that we got. So that's pretty much how I build the narrative. But as of right now, we're obviously bearish. So as long as that supply stays intact, I'll continue shorting. If this supply goes and we make new structure, then at that point, we could start creating a narrative of maybe this daily zone will get hit. And a lot of people will get very buy biased and just keep buying if that happens. Whereas if you go to the higher time frame, you can understand that it's likely just a higher time frame mitigation that it'll continue. Anytime you look at the market, it doesn't change direction a whole lot. You know, we have a bullish impulse for whatever that is, better part of a year, almost a full year, where it recovered past the COVID, and then we've had a bearish correction since. Now, if we're looking at it realistically, the bullish impulse was quite a bit more aggressive than the bearish impulse right now. But as of right now, we are bearish until something changes, right? And I think everybody, like, I get a lot of weird DMs that are just like, hey man, what do you think it's doing today? Here's my chart. Do you think it's gonna do this? And I'm just like, I don't know, man. I make a few scenarios in my head and I ultimately wait for the market to show me. Once the 15-minute does something, I'm like, okay, well, I could probably trade this 15-minute into this zone. And at a certain point, you'll be like, okay, well, the 15 minutes retrace to 50% of the 4-hour. So this, for example, like my girlfriend took this loan into here, somewhere in here. Once it hits this 50% zone, chances are I'm not going to want to keep taking loans because we're bearish. And if you do have setups here, they're becoming lower and lower probability. Even if 15 does turn bullish, the likelihood of it taking this 4-hour high is a lot less than it doing this because all the higher time frames are bearish, right? And yeah, but that was kind of my chat with a couple of the guys that DM'd me about doing daily markups and daily zooms. I'm like, I totally can. I don't mind. The thing is like, things in the market change within 15 minutes, so I can give you every outlook and possible scenario, and ultimately the market's going to do what it's going to do. And once something on the 15-minute breaks or respects, I'm just going to enter that trade. I'll find a reason to go either direction. And I think and that's what a lot of people get stuck on. Well, I'm only buying today, or I'm only selling today. Well, why? Like, yeah, definitely sells are higher probability, but where are you likely to sell from? Probably somewhere up here. Why wouldn't you buy up to it, right?
Right, and you're building like the whole narrative from top down as well as what I noticed that you just did, so that you have both sides. Like, okay, we're gonna pull back to the daily EQ, so we're gonna be buying until then or whatever.
Yeah, and that's so one of the biggest things I've noticed with smart money concepts, and even a lot of people I coach, they sit on the 1 minute the whole session. They take every 1 minute break of structure, every 1 minute flip, but then you almost get hypnotized by the candles. And if you don't have a higher time frame narrative, you can't really put together what the market's doing, right? Exactly. So like the majority of my session, like I shrunk my screen because my screen's too wide for you guys, so I shrunk it in half. But the majority of time I sit on my session like this and I just stare at the left side of the screen. When the left does something I like, I'll go and look at the 1 minute, because ultimately your trades come off the 1 minute, but you can't do anything with that till the 15-minute does something. Let's see, I got a question about entries. Do you ever pay attention to how deep we mitigate into POI? No, not at all. So when I first learned smart money, the concept was it had to 50% mitigate. And what you'll see a lot of times is it can just barely tap this zone and go, or it can come right through this zone and then go, but you never candle body closed above. It's just the wick. And I found that theory to be quite subjective. No, I've never found that it matters at all how deep it goes. Honestly, I've taken countless trades right from this zone when it barely taps. So if you just sit there and wait for the 50% to get tapped every time, you'll miss trades. The best thing to do would be to gather some data and test it yourself on what works for you. Because like no matter what I tell you guys to do, at the end of the day, you guys have to figure out what works for you. And the reason that is everybody's psychology is different, right? Oh, gee, you just did something weird, hey? Huh. Seemed like a something. Wonder what that was. Huh, that was a while ago. I always wondered what causes the market to do this. Stuff like that. But yeah, as far as how deep it goes, definitely doesn't make a difference. Let's see. Found a lot of times the first mitigation gets swept for me unless the initial mitigation sweeps the liquidity before. Yeah, like that's a big one for me. I want to see the liquidity go, and then I can start doing little riskier things. I already have a process that works. Yeah, that's the whole idea. Like if you have something that works, stick with it. No matter what I preach to you, it has to make sense to you. Like yesterday, I took well, completely retarded trade, but it worked out for me. And the whole concept was basically based on the bottom being liquidated. I did think it was gonna run the weak highs, which it did. I didn't hold it for long though, because like I entered this with like a 1.1 pip stop. It really, and the whole concept of this trade was all the sell side liquidity was gone. What's the market likely to do? Well, it's likely to seek out buy side liquidity. And then if I look at the higher time frame perspective, what we had yesterday, if you look at the 15-minute and you look at the candles really closely, where was your last strong high? Well, our last strong high was this one, because that caused this low to fail, and that was one push down. Look at the rest of these highs. This wick liquidated, but what did this high do? It took a shot at the bottom and it failed. So it didn't even make a new low, so we kind of failed. Then we took another shot at the bottom. We stacked the inducement. Then we took then the FOMC happened and we liquidated the top, liquidated the bottom. But if you notice where this wick came to, it did not come down below this wick. So we're kind of respecting to a certain extent. We're failing to make new lows. So when I was watching that, I seen it. I'm not one to trade news. I think this was like 15, 16 minutes after news. But I seen this and I closed my trade around here. But my target was these highs because they're weak. All of these highs tried to push down and they were not able to run this low. So as soon as that happens and the bottom of the market liquidates, the market's likely going up to seek out buy side liquidity, which is stacked up here. And that's ultimately how I frame any trade. I'm like, what is the higher time frame doing? So if we go back to the seconds, and I think I did share this chart with you guys yesterday, but it was liquidation, and then you had your flip zone here. It's a little bit cleaner on the 1 minute, but same difference. And supply. That's your flip zone. We got a V-shaped reaction. The whole bottom's liquidated at this point. If you see something like that happen, it is okay to be a little riskier at times because there's no more liquidity down there. And you'll notice that with the higher time frame stuff, especially. So that to me is considered tapping like external range liquidity. And anytime the market comes up and takes something from an external range, meaning the whole range is wiped, once it liquidates in here, and you would see that on the 1 minute, you could start 4 minute trade going down a lot quicker. But again, everything for me is what's the 4 hour doing? What's the 15 minute doing? Like, I don't care if I look at it on the 15 second, the 30 second, or the 1 minute. None of those ideas come from anything other than the higher time frame. See, when price taps into M15 supply on the left side, like today, do we have to wait for a 15 chalk? So today we were actually bullish when price tapped in. So let's go into that. So let's see. So when Euro tapped in initially, which was up here, price was still bullish. So as long as nothing fails, so at this point we needed this supply to go, or that demand to go, because it put in a high. Then we came down and we made another high. So now you look at it as this demand here is where the high came from. So we had one of two scenarios today, and I was kind of ready for both. I was more sell biased than buy biased. Reason being is the impulse speed. We're very aggressive down, very slow going up. That's usually stacked liquidity to run. Whether it does it this week or not, completely, I don't know. But my scenario was when I seen this, that was our 15-minute chalk and flip. So we liquidated, we took this liquidity. The flip side here was that this here liquidated this whole zone to continue on up. So for that trade idea to happen, though, I needed to wick above that, and we didn't get that. Had this wicked above and started, like, if this did something like this and it came back down, I would have been more than happy to put in a buy order there. So if that kind of makes sense. You guys have any more questions about anything else? Like I said, today was kind of a poor day to go over, as there was only really one decent trade on Euro. No? Anyone? Yeah, if you guys don't have anything else you want to go over, we can totally end this here, and hopefully by next week more members show up. If you guys do have something you want to go over, or share a chart or whatever, let me know. Like I said, I'm willing to stay till 1. No problem whatsoever. Thank you. Okay. Does anybody have anything? Because if not, like I said, we'll just cut it here and we'll redo this, guys. I think next week too, like I said, we'll be doing these on Wednesday, and I'm gonna try to set up some sort of email campaign for the members so they can register and have their Zoom link in their email too, just so you guys don't have to search for where do I register, where's the link. I know some people are more email based than Discord based. Like I know a couple of the guys that joined us have never used Discord, so I was gonna do that for the members too. But I'm thinking Wednesday midweek Q&A and Sunday backtesting sessions. I'll get a link out to you guys for that later today. You can register, and we can do the same thing with the backtesting sessions. We'll record them. We'll put them up on the website. If you guys have some questions, that's totally cool. And maybe even after a few weeks when things are rolling smoother with the same members showing up or whatever, we can even get to the point where the members lead them and I'll just kind of sit back and scribble on your guys' charts. But yeah, if that all sounds good and nobody has any other questions, we'll end this here today, and I'll see you guys on Sunday for those of you that are coming to the backtesting session.
Okay, thank you.
All right.
Thank you for your time.
No worries, guys. Yeah, I'll chat with you guys on Sunday then. If you do have any questions or whatever, holler at me in the Discord, or post the chart or whatever the case may be. I think someone just showed up. Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, we'll end this here, guys. I'll get this posted on the website, and yeah, I'll be talking to you guys in the next couple days anyway, I'm sure. You guys have a good rest of your day, okay?
Have a good one, man. Thank you.
Thanks. Same
You
to
bet.
you.